Hi, it's Suzanne here, and this video will be a walkthrough of LeadCreator. Now, depending on when you see this video, there's probably a lot of added features and improvements to this amazing software. Philip and Craig are continually making improvements each week and month moving forward. So don't be surprised when you get your own copy, all of the wonderful things that aren't necessarily mentioned here. And I'll be creating updated videos as more and more new features come out. Now I'm going to break down this video into 5 steps for you. Logging in, choosing a template, customizing the content, adding your personal touch, and sharing your lead magnet. So let's get started. So the first thing we do is log into our LeadCreator.ai account. And if you're new to this, it's super easy to get started. You just put in the email address you used to purchase your copy and the password you created and log in. And once you're in, you'll see several options to create a lead magnet. You can click this button here or click up here. So let's do that. Step 2 is to choose a template. So in this pop-up, you want to name your lead magnet just something that you can remember for your own purposes, okay? So I'll use demo, and then you can create as many categories as you want to keep everything organized. I'm just going to choose video examples, and then you choose a template. And as you can see, there are so many in here. There's the blank lead magnet, and I use this one fairly often because I'll use my personal ChatGPT account, which I've trained to sound like me. I'll create something in there and then copy and paste it into this template. Or if you're a PLR purchaser, meaning you buy content from vendors who give you permission to use it however you want, that's another great way to use the blank lead magnet. Then there's raw ChatGPT. Now you're probably asking, well, why don't I use the raw ChatGPT instead of my own account in ChatGPT? Well, that's because, like I said, I've trained my own account, and that's not something that's as easy to do in here, okay? In here, it's still a wonderful template to use. You just have to make sure that you prompt it properly to get what you want. There is the 5, 10, and 15-point listicle. So these are great for comparing products, giving 15 points to something, benefits, that kind of thing. Blog post to ebook. That's where you would add the URL to a specific post online and it will turn it into an ebook. Blog post summarizer. Same type of thing. It just summarizes the blog post. YouTube transcript to ebook and YouTube Summarizer are excellent tools. You can also create micro courses with image suggestions or with video suggestions. A fax maximizer and an ebook creator. So this creates more of a long form content if you're looking to create a more in-depth guide. So for today, let's use the raw ChatGPT. Okay, step 3 is to customize your content. So now it's asking us to put in our prompt. It even gives you a bit of an example here. The top 10 ways to learn coding for older ladies in Poland that want to go into cybersecurity. So how's that for specific? Make the title funny and engaging if possible. So this is what I mean. You just want to add in as much into your prompt as you can think of to get what you're looking for. It's not that you can't change it once it creates it, but it's nice to get it off to a good start. If you have something in mind already, even including a title, you could add the title in here and a short description. You could list out the steps or tips you want to include, anything that you want. So this is what I asked it. I said, please write a short guide on how to create a small garden on an apartment balcony. Format it step by step, giving examples for each step. Then I said, add a little humor to the guide and the title. And then I said, add a call to action to my offer for a beginner's guide to small space gardening, everything you need to know. So I'm pretending that I'm promoting this particular book. So let's hit create and we'll move on to the next step. Step number 4 is to add a personal touch. Now, as you can see, LeadCreator is thinking about what I gave it, and that only took a couple of seconds. And this is what it gave me. As you can see, it laid it out step by step. It gave me a conclusion, a call to action, and the title Balcony Botany. How to turn your tiny terrace into a green oasis. So that's pretty catchy, right? Now it's just a matter of editing everything. If you have a specific color or style or whatever your brand is for your business, you can integrate it into this. You can add images and videos. There's so much you can do in here. So let's give it a little bit of a fix up. I'm going to remove the quotation marks. And usually what I like to do is to highlight the title and center it in the middle. Now, let's say your brand colors are blue and green. So let's give this title a green color. I mean, we are talking about gardening here, right? So this title is an H1 heading. Okay, we don't need the word introduction, so I'm going to take that out. And whenever you have a paragraph that's more than a couple sentences, I would separate it because it just makes it for easier reading, and people like to see the white space so that it doesn't look so overwhelming. Now it's up to you if you want to keep the step in here or just have the title look like Assess Your Space in Sunlight. But this particular heading is heading 2. So these are all heading 2 subheadings here. Okay, we'll get rid of conclusion and we'll get rid of call to action. Now, as we come up here, you would read through what you have and decide if you want to add anything, change anything, delete anything. That's entirely up to you. So again, I'm going to break it up a little bit. And remember, this is just a short guide because my call to action at the bottom is going to be for a book that is much more in depth, okay? So we don't want to overwhelm our readers here. We just want to give them a short guide, something that they can read over quickly and implement right away. It did add humor throughout. It said, is this more of a sunbather or shade seeker? Okay, talking about the balcony. And that's what I would do going through each of these paragraphs is I would break it up. Okay, like I said, you want to give it a little bit of white space. Let's break this up here, and I'm going to add a space right there. Now, if you want to add more color, like I said, you can turn these subheadings to be all green. So let's go back and get that green color. And I'm just going to add that color to all of my subheadings. And I think I'll bold it as well. And there we go. Now, I think this would look lovely with an image. So what we can do is we can add a space, and if you press /, notice that you can add a dividing line, a horizontal rule, a button, an image, a YouTube video or a Vimeo video, more text, more headings, a bullet list, a numbered list, or you can add anything that has an HTML code, okay? You can embed it into this document. So let's say you had a really nice call to action button that you want to use. I know there's one in here, but if you had something that, let's say, is branded to your brand, then that's how you can add it into this document. But for now, let's add an image. So the first thing I'm going to do is head to Canva, which anyone can create a free account online. And I'm going to create an image for my lead magnet. Now, I happen to have one that I always bounce back to this one because it's one that I use repeatedly for different images. It is 1000 pixels by 400 pixels, and it's just a nice, wide, and not too tall picture so it doesn't overwhelm your lead magnet. So I'm just going to get rid of this one, and let's see what we can find in the form of balcony gardening. And there are quite a few that come up here. Here's one that you can use if you have a free account. If you see images here with the little pro or the little crown that says pro, those aren't accessible for a free account. This one is, and it's already nice and wide. So let's set that as the background image. And there we go. We have a beautiful image for our lead magnet. And I'm just going to download this. I'm going to keep it to about 200 kilobytes because we don't want to upload a huge one. And download, and then we go back to LeadCreator. I want to put in the image, so click on image, and here's my image here that just downloaded from Canva, and there we go. Look at how lovely this looks. Okay, it adds color to your lead magnet. You're kind of keeping to the greens because it's gardening. And like I said, you can add as many images or videos as you want. Let's try to add a video in here so I can show you what it's like. We're going to go to YouTube. Let's look for a video on balcony gardening. So here we go. And here is a nice short one here. Again, we don't want to overwhelm our viewers with a long video. This one's 4 minutes, 14 seconds long, and it's got the 4 key steps for beginners. So let's click on that. And here's the video. I'm just going to pause it. And if we click the share button and copy the URL of the video here, we go back into LeadCreator. Again, press the /. And this time, let's pick YouTube video. We add the link here, insert video. And there we go. Now, I'm not saying this is necessarily the right video for this subsection, but this is how you would do that. And you can also increase this in size if you like. Okay, this is as big as it goes. And those are all the different things you can do to add to this lead magnet. It just takes a few minutes to get it looking the way you like. Also, let's say down here for the conclusion that you're not quite happy with the way it's written. You may want to make it longer. You may want to personalize it by adding your own wording in here. Or you can come up here and ask AI to do various things. You can improve writing, fix grammar, make shorter, make longer, or continue writing. Let's try continue writing. And what it does is it's giving you what it's written in this box so that you can decide if you like it or not before it goes into your document. You can tell it to do something else. You can replace the section that's there. But what I'm going to do is click insert below because I asked it to keep writing after this particular paragraph, okay? And so it just extended the content saying that they shouldn't forget to keep an eye on their plants. Okay, I'm going to break this up again. As seasons change, okay, on and on. And then the last paragraph is your call to action. So what I like to do to make this stand out is I'll break up that paragraph and then this particular sentence that says ready to take your gardening skills to the next level. And I'm going to make that into an H2 heading like these green ones. And I might make this one a red so that it stands out. Okay. And then here it says download a beginner's guide to small space gardening, everything you need to know, and become the gardening guru of your apartment complex. Happy planning. So you have an option here. You can either highlight the title of the book and add a link here, or again, we could use the / and we can add a button. So when you click on the button, up here is where you can change the size of the button. So let's do large and let's make it red because my subtitle is red. The writing I would leave white on a darker background. And you can change this text. So I just wrote, click here to check it out. Click the little check mark. And there you go. You have a button. Now, this editing here of the button is going to become even better in a few months' time. The creators of this software is continually updating and making things much more professional looking all the time. So you can expect to be able to do a lot more with this button. Or like I said before, you could create a button elsewhere with your own branding and put in the HTML code and have a personalized button. And then what we'd want to do is add a link. I'm just going to say Google.com for now for this example. And there you go. You have a lovely button that grabs their attention. You want to make sure that you have an enticing call to action here. And now the best part. We come down to email capture. And this is what I love about this tool. Okay, in Content Editor, you have created a lovely lead magnet. And now you're wondering, well, how do I get people to sign up to my email list? Well, when you share the link to this lead magnet, people start reading And then partway through, and that's up to you to determine how far down they can read, a pop-up will show, blurring the rest of the document and asking for their email address so that they can continue reading. So when we click on email capture, you can see that there are various templates here. There is the standard one. There is the ebook style where you can upload an image. There's the blurred button. This is one of my favorites right here. It's kind of a two-step opt-in. There is the video template where you can upload a little video, maybe of instruction or welcome. And the no email capture form. And this would be if this were a gift for your email list or something that you don't require an email opt-in for. So let's go to the blurred button because that's my favorite. And then we come down to the form fields. And this is where you can change all of the writing on here. So you want to create a headline that is going to grab their attention and a subheadline, which basically tells them what to do next. What I love to do is to come back to ChatGPT here and actually ask it to give me a great headline and subheadline, etc. So I have a prompt that I use here over and over again. I said I have a two-step opt-in form. The first needs a short headline and subheadline with button text, headline in question form. This encourages the viewer to want to continue reading the lead magnet as this opt-in pops up and blurs the rest of the guide. This then leads to the lead capture form where I need a second short headline and button text, all in title case. Make them catchy, please. So I ask it to come up with this. And look at that. As quickly as that, it gives you something to work with. So let's highlight this headline here. Go back to LeadCreator, and I'm going to add that in here. And it says, discover the secret to, and it just gave me your topic. I'm going to say balcony gardening. So want to discover the secret to balcony gardening. And the subheadline was this here. Go back to LeadCreator, and I'm going to paste that here. Unlock the guide that reveals everything you need to know. And the button text is just a simple, yes, show me. And put it right here. And you can see when they hover over the button, it gets clear. So when they click that button, this second pop-up shows. And what did ChatGPT give me? Yep, get instant access to the full guide. So we'll go back in here and change the title. Okay, you can see all the changes instantly on the right here. It already has the name and email sections. And your privacy policy, you can use the default one, which is LeadCreator.ai if you don't have your own domain, but you can integrate as many of your own domains into this software so your lead magnets would look more professional. And the button says claim my free guide. So let's put that here. And there we go. Now I'm just going to save because I don't want to lose anything I've added in here. Next is styles, and this is where you can determine where you want your headline to show. You can have it all to the left, you can have it all to the right. Okay, I usually like center. And then you can change the button color. And because this is popping up over top of your lead magnet, what I like to do is come back in here and let's grab that green color, come back into styles, and add that here. So now everything's going to match and look lovely. And you can change the button text color. I prefer to leave it white. And then finally there's trigger. You can use the blur timer and you can determine how many seconds you're going to give them to read before it pops up. You can do the half page blur. This is my favorite. Or you can do it on mouse scroll, which means you can give them the chance to read 25, 50, or 75% of your lead magnet before this pops up. So I'm going to keep it to the half page blur so I can show you. We'll save the changes. And the next thing we do here is to integrate your autoresponder. You can see that they have a lot in here already, and you can see how many more are still in progress to be integrated with this software. I personally use GetResponse, so I would choose that. And then I would choose one of the lists that I want to capture those emails to. If you don't have an autoresponder, you can use Zapier or Pabbly. Okay, there are other ways to create a list here if you don't use any of these autoresponders. You can then decide if you want a social slider. And this just shows people that other people are interested in your lead magnet. So you can change the writing here if you want. You can make it active or not active. You can have it show on mobile. There are scarcity settings, which are great, an expiring URL and a scarcity maker. So this would allow only so many downloads, let's say, or your URL will expire after a certain date. In settings, you would give your URL a nicer look. Right now, it's a bunch of numbers and letters, so you would give it a name. You could say balcony gardening and update that. And then this is where you would integrate your domain. This is the default one, the app.leadcreator.ai. And I myself have several domains integrated in here. So I would choose the one that I want to represent this lead magnet. And this is the magic part, your referral link. If you purchase this software, you are automatically approved to get an affiliate link. And you would put your affiliate link in here. I'll just use Google to show you how it works. Update. You can update a social sharing image, and there is a viral sharing engine coming in January. You can also add scripts and tracking if you want, and that's for those of you who are a little more advanced. You can add footer links, and you can also add a page background. And this just makes it more beautiful, in my opinion. So remember how we had that green color? Well, you can have the background, a color, a light color, let's say, that makes the lead magnet pop out and that blends nicely with your colors. So let's grab that color again and go back into page background. Now, I don't necessarily want the background to be as dark as the writing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here to possibly just a light green, like right about here. So we know it's kind of all in the same tone. I'll leave the page color white. And then you can add a little bit of a shadow color if you want. And I would just do, maybe a light gray somewhere in there. And save. So we're going to come back up to the content editor, and we're going to click Publish. And then let's take a look to see what it looks like. And there we go. There's the light green and the background. This is what they start reading. And here is the pop-up. So if they want to discover the secret to balcony gardening, they would click this button and they would enter their name and email here. I'll just add mine to show you what it's like. And here you can see that this is my domain name. So it's branded to my business. Claim my free guide. And there you go. Okay, it pops up. They can read everything you like. And when they come down here and click on the call to action, remember I put in Google, it'll go to wherever you want to send them to. It could be an affiliate link to something. It could be to a video. It could be to an article on your blog, whatever you want. As long as you add some sort of call to action at the bottom, so that you can either monetize or send your traffic where it is you want them to go. So that was pretty easy, wasn't it? It goes so fast with this tool. It's just incredible. Now, step 5 is where you share your lead magnet. So once you're happy with all of this, all you have to do is share the link. The link that you see in the search bar here is the link that you share. And the nice thing is that all of your lead magnets, no matter how many you make, they're all hosted here within the software. You don't have to download it if you don't want to. They're all hosted in your account. I'll show you here. Like I have oodles and oodles of lead magnets, and they're all hosted right here. So you don't have to worry about adding them to your website or putting them on your Google Drive or any other type of hosting. It's all hosted here for you. So see how easy that was? With LeadCreator.ai, you don't have to spend hours struggling to create a lead magnet from scratch. In just a few steps, you can have a professional-looking resource that your audience will love. See how easy that was? You can keep them as simple as you want or spend a little time making it beautiful. Either way, it's a very professional looking lead magnet to share with your audience and grow your email list. Thanks for watching to the end, and I'll see you soon.